place to start. I'm going to get the background done before I show you how to put this All the World's a Stage card together. So I'm using a stamp set from Club Scrap called Aviary, and it came out in March of 2019. And I'm kind of building a scene here that will be seen through the window of the card. So I'm starting off with this leaf stamp, and I just want a light leaf in the background there. This is beautiful. I already stamped this up, and you can see when you do a nice light leaf in the background, it's gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little shape that I'm going to use as a mask for stamping this bird cage. And that way I'll have a clear space where you'll be able to read this sentiment very easy. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mount up this stamp. I think I have it where I want it there. What I'm going to do is just take my stamp, and I'm just going to roughly trace around it. And I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to give it about 1/8 of an inch around. I'm going to get some Teflon scissors so that the glue isn't going to be a problem. I'm going to position that so that it's just coming out of the stamp, which means it's going to look something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that away. There we go. I think that was right about there. So I'm going to ink it up with just a basic black dye ink. I wanted to have a good contrast between the background and that Don't you just love this misty repositionable stamper? I mean, you don't get a good one the first time. You could just ink it up and do it again. Beautiful. Now we're going to lift up this mask. I want to try and make that reasonably straight. So I made myself some of these little graphs that I can put down on a piece of paper and find the centers and so on and so forth. The other cool thing about them is, though, that I can put a stamp in position, stamp it on the plastic, see if it lines up perfectly or not. Okay, let's go with the black. But I'm going to be ready with my baby wipe because I'll want to clean that off right away. All right, let's see what we get here. Well, you can see I'm way off. So the S is way up, the B is way down. So I got to make a turn on that. So I'll just wipe that off. Give it a little dry. And now I have to adjust my stamp here. Let's try that now. It's darn close though. So I'm just going to reposition it down again one more time. And then I can get rid of that. So I think I'm going to use this Twilight ink. I'm going to stamp it down a few times so I can get it dark while not being black. Beautiful. Right. Last thing I want to do is put this little birdie on the branch. Like I'm looking at the cage he just flew away from, got out of. He's going to spread his wings any minute now. Now this here is called Sunset. It's kind of a nice orange. I want to make sure that I can be darker than that branch. I don't want that branch to be seen through the bird. I think that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but I don't want to go any darker on that bird. Let me clear this away and get started with the actual reason you're here. And that is for the All the World's a Stage card. All right. So when you cut your SVG file, so you're going to see this piece, which is the base for the stage window, and it's got these two tabs on it. And we're going to fold those backwards. We need some sliders for our stage doors. So what we're going to do is put these guys right in behind the tabs. And I like the tabs to be on the outside so there's no chance of anything causing grief for anything trying to pass through here. As paper stretches and moves, depending on whether you're cutting it against the grain or with the grain, you might find this is a little long. This one's a little bit long. So it's making a gap here. You can just trim a little off of each edge. This one is actually not bad at all. There, that's perfect. So he's got a little lip there, but that's okay because it's going to accept this big piece through. So let's get that glued down. I'm using Club Scraps bookbinding glue in a needle tip applicator here. And I love this glue and the applicator. It never clogs, and I mean never. I never have to worry about it. Club Scrap has them on their website. You can pick them up. They dole out such a tiny amount, which is perfect because a lot of times problems with our projects are as a result of too much glue. So we'll just stick that down there, and it's permanent. I just hold it down for a couple of seconds and it's good to go. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. And this little applicator tip, like I said, never gets clogged. And all I do for it is give it a little wipe off like that. And put the nib back in the top. It's good to go. Now, we'll put the frame on top of that. So that frame is going to nest on there with an 1/8 inch reveal all the way around. Just like so. The other thing that's nice about bookbinding glue is that it gives you a few minutes to maneuver if you don't get it down perfectly right the first time. So now I've got a little bit of wiggle room with the white glue adhesive. Now I'm going to talk about these pieces. Now you're going to have two pieces, and if you cut them out, they can look identical. The thing is that they have to fold opposite of each other. That's going to be your left side, and then this is going to be the right side. Also too, I don't know if you can see, but there is some hash marks I've made on here for you, so that you don't have to get out a rule and measure to put these pieces down. So these you'll cut out of pattern paper, and I can see exactly where they go because of the hash marks there. So no measuring for me, which is good. Who needs measuring? Who needs extra measuring? Now for this I use my AGT red gun, because in the red gun I have general purpose adhesive, which means that it is not acid free, not safe for your scrapbooks. So, but for cards it's okay. I mean, we're not expecting our cards to last 100+ years. There we go. And that's our stage doors right there. All right. Now, before we weave those into our stage, I want to attach the sentiment that is going to be seen through the stage. And just like I did here, you're just going to glue that in there. Don't forget, don't snug right up to that hinge, because you have to have room for it to come over. There's got to be some room there. So, you know, if you come up just to it, would be perfect. Then you can fold it without having any issues. All right. So again, I'm gonna put down my bookbinding glue. Nice little path of glue. I'm going to snug this up to, but not over that hinge. And then just to make sure, I'm gonna square the hinge. Close it up. Make sure everything's square there. Voila. You can do the same on this side. And again, up to, but not over. Close this. Slide it right down on there. Make sure everything is closing without issue. And that's what's going to be behind the stage door. You have a white piece that you'll cut, which will hold your sentiment. And as you can see, I use that aviary from Club Scrap to make my sentiment for the back. Now, this I'm just going to give some ATG love. Center it on here. I've made it so the file will cut you an 1/8" reveal all the way around. Now, make sure we have this the right way. This is going to attach onto here like so. So let's get that on there. So I'm going to use the glue because I want a bit of wiggle room, and make sure you only put it on these green spots, or these edges here of your doors, and then down the center. Nothing out here. And then we're going to just get that centered into place. I'm going to just flip it over so I make sure I'm getting it evenly spaced here. Which, thank God for glue, because I'm needing some wiggle room. So now you have your greeting on the back where you can write your message to your favorite person in the world who's getting this lovely card. All right, now we're going to feed these into their flaps. Like so. And then I'm going to feed this side in, like so. All right, and your recipient's going to do this, and they're going to see that great message inside there. I hope you have a great time making this and giving this as a gift to a special loved one. I offer this SVG file to you free of charge. It's on my blog. I also have a button for my PayPal to do a donation. If you would like to donate to me to help me keep filled with all these craft things so I can make you files and make you more videos, I'd super appreciate it. But you know, if you just don't have the money, that's fine too. You just go ahead and take that file and enjoy it and spread love. Okay, so now that we have completed our card and we've made our stage, I want to put a little bit of a greeting on the front, maybe something overhanging the frame. So what I wanted to do was add this gold happy birthday. I thought I set off from the gold in the frame here. And I wanted to add this sticker that says perfect just the way you are. If I was to stick that there, you and I both know it's going to stick to that door. And then that door is not going to slide open anymore. So I'm going to show you how we get around that. Good old-fashioned baby powder. Alright, so we're going to start with the doors open because I don't want to risk getting anything attached to there. Alright, so I'm going to get my tweezers here. I noticed there's a little fleck on there, so I'm going to have to find a jewel or something to put on there to cover that up. So we have stickiness right there though. So I just take a little baby powder and I'm going to rub it on the back of the sticker in there. And that is going to kill the adhesive and ensure that it can never stick to anything again. And you want to make sure that you keep adding baby powder until you're positive that the stick is all gone. And now he won't stick to anything. And he smells like a newborn baby. Get that pressed down really well. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Got to put a little baby powder. Ooh, or a lot of baby powder. Deep baby powder. All right. There we go. So these are just gems from the dollar store. And I love them. So all I do is I just take my craft knife and I cut the little bit of adhesive that's in between the gems. There we go. I think that looks really nice. And I also just thought I have some black small ones of these. So I'm going to give that little bird a glitter eye, a gem eye. There, how does that look? I think that really adds to the story.